What'd you do this weekend, yo?
I waxed everyone.
Oh, yo, he got swerved. Oh my god. Let's go, baby. Yeah, the hottest driving player.
What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Sebastian Todd, aka DeadlyB7, and as you guys can see, this is a feature match from I think around 2016. This is an ARG in Orlando, and I was I think around 14 years old around this clip. It's basically the last tournament that I played before I took a break before the Salmon Grade format, and this is basically right before high school. I just stopped playing this event because I bubbled this event, and it was I was pretty sad. So yeah, how I got my name, DeadlyB7, I wanted to start off is when I was a little kid and I was trying to play some Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360. My dad had to create a username, and it was basically based off an anime called The Tick. And The Tick, there's a villain called Deadly Bulb, and so that's why I have the name DeadlyB7. It stands for Deadly Bulb 7. So this is like my first time coming back to the game was around Salmon Grate Orcus Thunder format, and the deck that I picked up was Pendulum, and it was actually my first ever regional top. This is what basically just helped me get back in the game. I thought it was a pretty good deck since it had a lot of like micro interactions that you had to manage, and I quickly learned how Pendulum was not the deck for me. Like you quickly learn that even though these decks are very fun, I learned that playing a deck like, you know, Thunder Dragon in that format, around Nat's format, or Orcus in the following format was just way more fun to win. And in college, I had a lot more time to play Dueling Book, and this is where I think I took like the biggest step as far as my game went. Was just being able to play on Dueling Book a lot. I gained a lot of rating through this Orcus format, through Orcus and Sky Striker, and then on to Orcus Sky Striker. And just gaining experience talking to people online, like Ryan Yu. You guys know June. That's where I eventually joined WAF a bit later, but that's where I started talking to him during this format. And this is basically where I like saw my first kind of quote-unquote success. I basically topped quote-unquote 3 regionals in a row, and starting out, it's like how I got a lot of like confidence when I played. And then leading up to after the COVID format was when I went LCS 12. It was actually my first ever LCS. This is basically a week after I joined WAF. They basically taught me a lot about, you know, building sighting patterns, preparing for an event, and it was just awesome to see that work go immediately paid off. A lot of the stuff they taught me, winning the first LCS and, you know, $2,000 at an event online. Of course, it would have been great to be in person, but an online event, $2,000, shout out to Luxury, was a great experience. And I think what put me like on the map as far as I won a PPG right after as well. Not like the most credible tournament, but was still I won the LCS, the PPG, and then a cash regional in Philly as well shortly after. So I basically like built a name for myself slightly there, and talking to a lot of people in WAF. This is what eventually I think was also another big step, was I got to talk to a lot of people that are just better than me, and being able to talk to people like Cameron Neal, Christian Reina, everybody in WAF, the Europeans, Herman, Gabriel Nets, everyone in there. Sorry if I left your name out, but being able to talk to people is what I think elevated my game to the next step. Just super cool. And then shortly after, you'll see that I topped the Remote YCS with Tri-Brigade Zodiac. I typically like to, you know, stick with one deck, and as long as it's viable, of course, and is very good, and just master the deck in and out. Not really one to switch decks every event. But unfortunately, I wasn't really that comfortable and confident enough with Dragon Link for the YCS. So that's why I decided to just play Tri-Brigade Zoo. I felt like Herman was very influential in me picking that deck. Unfortunately, I lost the top 16, but it's my first quote-unquote YCS top. And it was the first time actually working with Herman on like a deck. Usually it's like very specific on who you work with for an event in each deck, because obviously some people won't agree with your deck choice. So sometimes you're more on your own, or sometimes you'll be able to pick who you want to work your deck with if it's a more popular deck. but this event I worked with Herman Hansen and some other people from WAF. So this is a really good experience. I also worked with Bowden as well, some of this deck. So yeah, this is super good. I think the Remote YCS was just another like confidence booster. Of course, like a lot of this stuff is like online, but the pricing is just so good, and I think it's worth the play. Even though, sure, it's not like IRL play, which isn't as good, but being able to play online for these just insane prizes, the fact that I got a prize card for top 16 is just absolutely unreal. So yeah, shortly after, I realized from Gabriel Nets the Dragon League was still playable. So that's when I won the Remote Duel Extravaganza most recently, which was an amazing experience. I got an ultra rare prize card of the Dark Lord prize card set, and this is just an amazing experience for me. Even though like playing at home on your remote duels isn't really that fun, just the pricing is just absolutely worth it. So yeah, that's basically how I started. I started a little bit in 2014-15. Took a break all the way up until around Salmon Grade format, so I skipped the whole Zoo Goki formats, and then basically picked up a lot during COVID format, and that's where I've put like the most connections. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned throughout this game is that making connections is the biggest advantage to getting good quickly, or progressing in this game a lot faster. And so progressing online and like WAF, and I think the COVID format was a huge advantage of that, since almost everybody was online, so they were almost forced to communicate. So that's where I got in touch with people like Hani Jawari as well, that sort of circle of people as well, Europeans. So I think it just happens naturally, but I think COVID was a big component of where I took that next step in my game, I think. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to share what I've learned with you guys, and make sure to leave that like and subscribe button. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.